Just having a read in in my garden. Of course I can't. Samara glanced out of her window, looking really sad. It was a year ago today. She lost her beloved dad. She wished she could magic herself away to a faraway land, where all she did was laugh and build castles in the sand. Look at that. Look at that, Piper. Come down to dinner. It's time to eat your food. Her mum called her down, but she wasn't in the mood. She flicked her peas around her plate and picked at her dish. She glanced across the table. There was one person that she missed, and it was her dad. Oh, okay, hello. Hello. Can't let me have a moment's peace, can you? You're going to read with me? Okay. When dinner was over, she trudged up the stairs full of gloom. What's that for? But nothing would prepare her for the guest inside her room. This fella. She looked it in the eye, and it stood very still. There it was, as white as snow, upon her window sill. You couldn't make this up, could you? Don't. I'll turn the page, thank you. Lord of mercy. Okay. He stared at her. She stared at him. He wasn't backing down. His blue eyes transfixed on her, eyes of deepest brown. Hello, she said, curious. What are you doing here? He cooed at her as if a long-lost friend or someone very dear. That's me as a kid. And exactly how I found Piper on my windowsill just over a year ago now. Are you listening? Ow. He's got a thing about, I don't know why, he's got a thing about pecking me. He loves this fold of skin for some reason. He just would not leave it alone. Mum, come quickly. Look at this, she said. She cried. In a flash, her mum was standing by her side. What is it, Samara? What are you doing here? There was a white pigeon right here with grey feathers on its head. Pigeons disappeared and she's thinking, what is going on? Yes. Some people read to their kids, I read to Piper. All right? The next day, Samara couldn't stop thinking about the visitor in her room. She couldn't concentrate at school. Will the bell ring soon? When school was over, she rushed home excited. If the white pigeon was there, she wouldn't be happy, she'd be delighted. You happy with sharing the book with everybody? She burst into her room, and there he was, peeping through her window pane. She whispered softly through the grass, Hello there, what's your name? He cooed at her and puffed out his neck. It's going to go for my head. Something male pigeons do. He smiled at him. Her first smile in months, I told you. And her love for him then grew. I never thought a year ago I would be allowing this to happen, but I've just given up. Come off. He's going to try and attack me now. Get off. No. Oh, God. Do you understand? Like, it's not easy to do my hair, and I need to wash it. She opened the window just a crack and softly said, I've had a really sad day. The pigeon watched quietly, cocked his head and tapped his beak where her head lay. Are you acting it out? Okay. She held her hand out through the crack, trying to make friends. But he pecked her finger, which hurt a bit. Yeah, hurts a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, get off. But it's just the way that he defends. He's just going for me for no reason. He just loves my fingernails for some reason. I don't know why. He could fly anywhere, could go anywhere. I'm not keeping him here, but he just likes a good peck. Don't you? What's the problem? Anyway, here's Piper. there's a picture of my dad, and that's Samara bonding with the pigeon because she's finding it hard to express her emotions. And the pigeon's the perfect creature, sentient being, to be able to do that to, even though he pecks a lot. Can you stop? You're embarrassing me. Okay, one last page. This book's called 9 Days of Piper's Snow, by the way. But at least you're being quiet-ish. The next day, she bought some sunflower seeds on her way home from school. She thought if he was hungry, feeding him would be cool. And there he was upon her ledge, waiting for a feed. Do you know how long it took to make this bookie, just mashing it up with your beak? She fed him on her windowsill the entire packet of seeds. Now the neighbours are coming up here. He pecked and pecked. Yeah, act it out, go on. He pecked and pecked. He would not stop. He was a greedy fellow. "Don't feed the bird," the neighbour shouted in a rather loud bellow. "He's my friend," Samara said. "He listens when I talk." Listen. Oh God, there's a big wood pigeon that's come up here. Lord, what's happening here? Piper's immediately going to fly off to his house to defend it. Aren't you? You're not interested? You see, look, watch. There's a wood pigeon right there looking. Hello, you going to come down as well? He's probably thinking, what the fraff is going on? I don't know. He pecked and pecked. He would not stop. He was a greedy fellow. "Don't feed the bird," the neighbour said in a rather loud bellow. "He's my friend," Samara said. "He listens when I talk." The pigeon stood there proudly and added in a squawk. "He'll never leave if you feed him, Samara. He's vermin and disease ridden. Does your mum know about this bird? Or is it a secret that you've hidden?" It's like teaching kids. Sometimes you just got to have no reaction. Go on, do you want a cuddle? Come on. Come on. No, unprovoked. You just want a little cuddle. It's actually really... it's really soft. Why are you behaving like this? What's wrong? Okay. Her mum burst in. "What on earth is that? Get it off the sill." The pigeon stood, chest beating fast, but standing very still. Stand still. Don't work. Kids and animals. "Please, Mum, he's really sweet." Go on, be sweet. "He won't do any harm," she cried. The irony. Mum looked at her daughter. It'd been a long time since she'd seen her smile so wide. "Okay, Samara, but get it outside now." The pigeon bopped his head and gave a little bow. Can you bop your head? Nope, just peck. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going and see how long this lasts. For 6 more days, the pigeon came, and she named him Piper's Snow. Everywhere Samara went, the pigeon would surely go. It's starting to hurt now, stop. He followed her to school, whispered math answers outside the class. She started to enjoy school again, and her sadness slowly passed. There he is, giving her maths answers. What's 1 + 1? He's gone off to work it out. Okay. Then one day, like, can you stop? I need a pigeon whisperer to calm me down. Is it because I'm not paying you attention? Where do you want to go? Nowhere. Okay. Then one day, Piper didn't come to visit her at the windowsill. At her window. Samara looked and looked, but he didn't come. Where did Piper go? She waited again until bedtime, and then again tomorrow. Samara felt her tears well up, and she was filled with so much sorrow. I'm going to do one more page, because Piper does come back, just so you know. I don't want you to get sad. That evening, she sat by her window, remembering 9 days of good times. At least he is well looked after. He even fine dines. Listen, we're nearly finished. He's got food up there. Like, there's no reason for him to be down here happily at all. He even fine dines. Sometimes great things don't last forever, but the memory lives on. And if the memory is still alive, is anything ever really gone? Okay, so that's the message of the story. There is quite a bit more of the book to go. As you can tell, it's written in verse. Piper does come up and she finds that he's a magical creature with a double life. Stop! With a double life. So yeah, that's my baby. I've always dreamt of being a children's author. I've helped over 300 authors publish their books. And last year, this pigeon turned up on my windowsill after I placed a photo of my late dad on the windowsill. And he just wouldn't leave me alone. He kept coming in through the crack of the window. I'd come upstairs and find him there. And one day I was looking at him and I was like, what is it you want? And I just suddenly got this, they say downloads of a poem, of an idea. And I wrote this book in 20 minutes. And the illustrations, shout out to Victor Onyenobi, who did the illustrations. It took 6 weeks to get them done. A very, very, very quick turnaround. And I got it out on the day of my dad's, like a year to the day of my dad's funeral. 17th of November 2023. He passed away on the 24th of October 2020, and we had the funeral 17th of November 2020. And it was just a beautiful way really to incorporate my dad in my dreams, but also to create a legacy and a memory of him, and to also show to young people who may have lost a parent or even a pet. They talk a lot of kids talk about losing a pet when this book comes, and I read this book, to get them to really connect to that emotion, but also to talk about the idea that if we have beautiful treasured memories of people we love, we can hold them in our heart, and they're never really gone. You know, I find myself